There are some pieces of equipment in the camera world that you'll never get experience with because you just don't have any proximity to it. There are pieces of equipment that you will never see, big dog, so you will never be skilled with it because you can't get to that piece of equipment. Your proximity matters. What's around you matters, and who you have access to matters. For example, most camera operators have never touched or seen a Steadicam in person. I'm not talking about people who are part of the union in LA or in Georgia or in Louisiana or in Miami. I'm talking about your standard camera operators. There are so many camera operators who aren't a part of anything and who taught themselves, who went to Best Buy, bought a camera, and have been running with it ever since. Those are the people that I'm talking about. And they more than likely have never seen a Steadicam in person, don't have access to one, and or do not want to purchase one, and or do not have the means to rent one to get the experience to be able to utilize that properly, if we're being quite honest. So I said to say, there are tons of pieces of equipment that most people will never get access to. That's why it's so important to PA. That's why it's so important to work with others. That's why it's so important to build these relationships. That's why it's so important to learn from others and to work under other people, because there are going to be equipment present that you probably would never see. I believe there's only 2 or 3 of those robotic tracking camera arms in Texas, period. And the only way you get access to those 2 is to work with the individuals who have those 2. Otherwise, you would not have access to them unless you have tens of thousands of dollars to rent it for an hour, big dog. That's just kind of how it works. So relationships, working with others, networking, collaborating with others is so imperative in this industry, because otherwise there's a lot of equipment that you would never touch, bro. That's unfortunately one of the downfalls of this industry. You can rent that piece of equipment that you have no idea how to use for a shoot, and then you just wasted money. You could rent it to practice on it, but you would need years and months of experience to truly be efficient with some of this equipment, and it wouldn't work out for you unless you just hire somebody who knew how to utilize it, but you eventually want to learn for yourself. So you need those connections to be able to practice and to understand this equipment in a lot of situations and in a lot of places in the US, because we don't have access to those on a regular basis. So find somebody to lean on for better base.